Welcome to the C Word, the Conservators podcast. Today we're talking about Christmas. I'm Jenny Mathiasson, an Objects Conservator based in South Yorkshire.
I'm Chloe Rumsey, an Objects Conservator based in Greater Manchester.
And I'm Christina Rizek, an Objects Conservator based in Cambridgeshire.
You are Christmas. Hi, Christina. You are also a Christmas treat.
You are.
Lovely to have you with us.
Indeed.
Thank you.
This is our little tradition now, isn't it? I love it.
It is. Yeah. It is.
Are we like the ghosts of Christmas past, future and present? Is that a thing that we are?
Yeah, which one's which?
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
I think I probably have to be Christmas past in that case, as the oldest and most decrepit.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I'm a warning to the future.
That means that you, as the ultimate beacon of feminism and environmentalism,
Yes!
has to be Christmas future, right?
Christmas future, yes. Because environmentalism
That's
is going to
perfect, because
become...
I'm big, fat and jolly, so I can be Christmas present. That's great, that's perfect. I'm thinking of the Muppets
Yes.
now. Thanks and welcome to the show, everyone.
Hi.
Clearly, it's our holiday special, so Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year, too.
Leave any expectations of this being a serious episode at the door, please.
That is correct.
If you don't mind.
I mean, we don't normally take the Christmas special very seriously, but this is definitely not going to be a serious one. Enjoy. I thought we could start by running through the predictions we did for 2019 in our last
Let's see what came true.
So our predictions for the 2019 year was that more museums will experiment with VR. Oh my God, and then we killed Chloe.
While she's coughing herself to death, I will just say that I haven't personally seen this, but I have been living under a rock this year as far as museum visiting goes. So I am not the best person to ask, but I'm sure you guys have seen more.
I also haven't really seen anything, but I've not really been keeping up to date with it. I kind of think there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm not necessarily aware of. How about you, Chloe?
I feel like my museum's quite a good weather vane for the kind of things that are going on in museums. Mm-hmm. We try new things, and we have it's a museum of politics, so it's we're quite kind of on it with that sort of thing. So I think we're all right.
So have you been doing anything with VR in your museum then, Chloe?
We have, actually. The last couple of months we're redoing a section of our galleries. Mm-hmm. In that is going to be a screen, and basically we're using VR technologies and photogrammetry.
Yes.
That sort of thing
to
take 3D images of various objects that we can't have or don't have on display for space and condition reasons.
Oh,
anyway, yes, we're using VR.
Oh, yeah, nice. Okay, well, yeah, I'll go with, sure, yes, why not? Tick. And then we said that Icon will have another conservation award ceremony. That was a rollover from the previous year. And actually, I think Michael will have imploded if that had actually happened, because they had the big conference. He's had a bit on,
hasn't he?
Yeah, they had the big Icon conference. I think the whole team would have just definitely just all just spontaneously combusted if that had happened. But maybe for next year, we'll roll it over.
Maybe next year, guys.
Yeah. We predicted that more European conservatives would be leaving, but actually Brexit hasn't happened. So there's that spot of
well, let's just roll that one over, because who knows?
Yeah.
End of January now.
Hopefully indefinitely.
Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if let's.
I mean, we should probably say that we're recording this on the 8th of December, which means that it's pre-election.
4 days.
Yeah, so
we've got 4 days.
We don't know at the time of recording
election
who will be in charge after the election. So,
or in fact, what state the country will be in by the time you're listening to this. If you are listening to this, if there's even an internet network for you to download our podcast
if electricity still
will
works.
there be martial law? Will we all be scrabbling in the streets?
If you are huddling in a burnt-out ruin of your previous home, then, then we're thinking of you this Christmas. But yeah, so I haven't noticed any more, but maybe people are just kind of holding their breath and seeing what happens.
I think that's exactly what's been happening for the last 3 years, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Christina, this one's for you. We predicted that you will write a book review for Jonathan. Have you?
No, of course I haven't.
Well,
no, I haven't done that. Roll it over. Sorry, Jonathan, please roll it over and add to it that I'm going to write up the data that I presented at the Icon conference in June, which I also haven't written up.
Well, people are really looking forward to that one.
Ironically, for someone who teaches writing for publication, I am appalling at writing for publication.
You're too busy telling everyone how to do it.
Yes, that's true. You're too busy teaching other people.
Yes, those that can do and those that can't teach. So, talking of which, guys, if anybody would like to come to my course, it's being run by Icon on February the 11th in London.
Oh, very nice. We'll put a link in for that. Here's another one of like disappointment, which is I have not applied for my accreditation stuff like I said I would. So that goes on the rollover list for sure. We said loans will get more complicated after Brexit, but again, Brexit hasn't happened, so we'll roll that one over.
Well, we'll be updated fairly soon. So if Brexit's supposed to happen now, the new date is the 31st or whatever of January.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be picking up an object from Brussels, the House of European History, amusingly, end of February. So probably not even in time for there to have been any kind of sense made at the border if we do leave the EU.
Well, that's
my
fun.
registrar's basically said, don't worry, I'll come with you. So I don't have to fight
good.
with the people.
The next one was forced into a crazy dystopia where we fight for food. So that one's, again, kind of Brexit related. So I think we'll go for that one's a rollover. We wondered if international loans will start to decline, again, because of Brexit. We don't really have any data on that.
I'd love to see any data on that.
Yeah.
Whether people are just kind of holding off. Because there's certainly been like fewer people buying houses and fewer people going on holiday. And I'm wondering if there are just fewer people in museums at the moment, just because there is less tourism. But I don't think that's happened in my museum personally, but I don't know.
I'm also slightly wondering if loans will start to decline because of carbon footprint worries and stuff like that. But again, we don't have any data. If any registrars are listening, I would just love to know if you've noticed anything. But yeah, that one is an unknown. We predicted more high-profile repatriations, and that's definitely come true.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some great ones, isn't there?
Yeah, so Manchester Museum being one that's made huge headlines.
My institution, I work for the University of Cambridge, and Jesus College is just agreed to last week to repatriate a bronze cockerel sculpture that they have that comes from Benin, which is now Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been hugely controversial for a long time. And I don't think even 5 years ago they would have considered repatriating it.
Wow.
But I think the tide's really turning there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It is a huge change in the museum sector at large, actually. I'm really impressed. But yeah, so that one definitely came true. More conservatives using menthol as a volatile binding medium, Christina.
Oh, is that me? Yes. I haven't got the faintest idea. I imagine they might be. Genuinely, and this is, I'm not taking the piss, I would genuinely really like to hear if you've been using menthol or any other volatile binding medium.
Oh, there you go. This one's for Chloe. More conservatives trying out Aquazole as an adhesive.
Yeah, I don't know that either, but I've certainly been trying it out.
Well, that's something. Let us know if you have. We had Parlour B72 being unmasked as a bad adhesive.
We haven't found that out yet.
No, not yet. More exhibitions about dissent, civil unrest and protest. That's definitely happened.
Definitely, yeah.
That was an easy win. There's been loads of them. More conferences, seminars and workshops being live streamed or recorded. Yes, I'm pleased to say that has happened.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. And there's been
fantastic.
the second Twitter conference as well. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm so pleased. Like, it's been like a good 5 times when I've just been pleasantly surprised by a sudden announcement of we're going to live stream this or we're going to record it or these are going to be on YouTube. And I'm like, thank you. You're amazing. So really pleased with that. Keep it up, guys. More novel materials coming into conservation use. That was a bit trickier. I haven't seen any amazing headlines, but maybe it's, all being done in labs secretly. No, not secretly. Just not yet published. So I'm curious about that one. And then we said climate change-based museum disasters will be on the rise. And boy, have they. We've had massive flooding in the north of England, worse since 2007, which was a previous record year of just disastrous flooding. So that's been a hard one.
There's also been ongoing, actually, fires in Australia.
Yeah.
Bushfires in Australia that are uncontrollable at this point of recording.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's only a matter of time, really, as long as all the people are safe. When it turns out that the priority is actually just making sure nobody dies, any more people die, at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's understandable when museums take a back seat.
Yeah, dramatic times. So yeah, we'll probably see a few more of those actually. Rollout of conservation apprenticeships. That is happening next year.
Next year.
Roll over.
Roll that over.
The C Word will make another 2 awesome series. Tick.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
And then become immensely rich and famous. Not so much.
Well, I mean, there's still time.
Although I like the ambition level of that one. Should we make some predictions for the year ahead?
Yes, apart from the ones we've already rolled over, of course.
Yes, apart from those.
I predict that more people will do contemporary collecting. So collecting, for example, protest materials, because it's been a mighty big year for protest.
It has.
In and out of museums. And I reckon people will be collecting more of those that have just been made and used, which is fantastic and interesting also from a modern materials point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good.
I think we will see more collections and cultural heritage lost to fires and theft. Not because of climate change, unfortunately, but just because of humans, basically. Agreed. I mean, obviously climate change is because of humans, but I mean in a more sort of immediate way. So we've had some really big fires recently. We've had the obviously Notre Dame and Glasgow School of Art going on fire again, and I think we'll probably see more of this just as things get more complex and there's more going on in museums, more potential for building and electrical work to go wrong, potentially more arson, that sort of thing. So I'm sorry, that's not very... And as far as theft goes, there have been 2 very high profile thefts from museums in Germany in the last week, I think. And one of them in Dresden, there was a lot of jewels and gold and stuff from their treasury stolen. And there are suggestions that the thieves stole this stuff in order to melt it down.
Oh my God.
And basically stole it for the materials that it was made of rather than its cultural heritage value. And I think as there is more pressure on natural resources and as resources are being extracted at greater and greater rates and they're starting to get more scarce, then I think we'll see people basically reclaiming materials from cultural heritage.
I'll do another bleak one just to get it out of the way.
Great.
Yeah, well, then we can be upbeat after that. I think there might be a tendency of more right-wing groups harnessing heritage for nationalistic purposes. I think other political parties and leanings need to kind of get in there and make sure that heritage is used for good and not for evil.
I have a positive one.
Okay, go for it.
I think that museums are going to more and more become centres and welcoming to migrants and people seeking refuge. As not just themes, but also kind of welcoming safe spaces and places like that.
I like that, because we could do with some positive stories and, I don't know, a sense of belonging, I think. There's been a lot of unnecessary vilifying of immigrants lately, and that's just unnecessary, isn't it?
It is unnecessary. Vastly unnecessary.
I think we're going to see more people deliberately collecting and displaying works by women and ethnic minorities, people of colour, just generally trying to move away deliberately from the white male narrative. I think there's going to be a lot more of that, I think.
If we haven't rolled it over already, I predict that this year that 2020 will be the year we finally become incredibly rich and famous.
Oh, a nice one. Okay, excellent. I'll put that on the new list. So that's our predictions then for next year. It'll be exciting to see where we're at with that. Something came up on Twitter recently, which I enjoyed, and that was what would go in a conservation Christmas tree.
Oh my God.
Because someone had seen a really fun museum Christmas tree, which had dinosaurs in it and stuff. Which,
I saw that. That was really fun.
Which is adorable. But I do love a novelty Christmas tree. And what would a conservation one look like or have in it?
For quite a long time, I've wanted to make baubles in the shape of various museum pests.
Oh my God.
Do you want pests in your tree?
No, but if they were giant and golden, I think that would be... Can you imagine little moths? It would be gorgeous.
Golden moths. Actually, I'm kind of tickled by that. Mm-hmm. Could there also be golden pest traps?
Yes!
Maybe they're silver.
Absolutely.
I think you could make garlands out of cotton tape and things like that.
Oh yeah, that would be lovely.
Paper chains with acid-free paper.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
scraps off.
And lovely see-through snowflakes made out of Melanex.
Oh, that would be
enjoying
subtle,
this.
wouldn't it?
I love it. I want to say it was a National Trust one where they like had presents at the bottom of the tree that were like things that help them look after the house. So it was like wrapped up with a bow, like boxes of nitrile gloves and like little adhesive tubes, and that was really cute. And someone else shared a photo of some ornaments they'd made from scraps of leather from a bookbinding course with little bits of gilding. That was really cute, which I love. I love creative use of scraps.
I feel like I might have said this already, but when I did a week of work in the textile mounting studio lab in V&A, and I think it was the furniture conservation department they did a sort of craft sale for charity whilst I was there, and I think that it was the either furniture or frames, or maybe they're both, gilded some walnuts and made them into Christmas decorations, and they were beautiful, really, really beautiful.
Now, there's some really, really gratuitous use of gilding.
Your mention of nitrile gloves has just made me realise that you could make fake tinsel out of nitrile gloves and cotton tape. If you attach the nitrile gloves next to each other in a line, so all the fingers were dangling down, and then put some more nitrile gloves.
I've seen someone do like a Christmas wreath of old gloves and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also very creative. Like, well done, guys. Oh, fun fact, I totally got some seasonal colours of nitrile gloves. I got red ones, but frankly they are more hot pink than they are red, so I'm a bit disappointed. But I got burgundy ones, which properly feel like, A, I feel like I've got blood on my hands, but B, I feel like they're a bit more Christmassy.
Amazing.
No one did like pine green or anything, which I'm disappointed about. They were only like weird lime greens.
I've had a sort of, a teal, but quite a greeny teal.
Yeah, I have in the past,
Not quite grass green, but, more green than blue.
And now I just want to have more fun colours of nitrile in my life. Yeah, okay.
So last year, we had our Parlour game, which was the 20 questions, which was actually 10.
Yes.
And we were each a museum and we got each other to guess the museum. That was really fun. Christina, you've mentioned that you have a little Parlour game that you play with your kids, right? And
yes, to while away car journeys and stuff.
It's more audio than I Spy.
Yes. That wouldn't really work on a podcast. Especially as we're not even in the same room. The game we play often on car journeys and things, it's called The Minister's Cat, and it's basically thinking up adjectives in alphabetical order to describe the minister's cat. So the first person might say, the minister's cat is an angry cat. And the next person might say, the minister's cat is an angry, bushy cat. And the next person might say, the minister's cat is an angry, bushy, crazy cat. Which all sounds quite easy until you start getting to the letters like J and X and so on. So I thought we could play this, but obviously not talking about cats, but instead thinking up adjectives to describe an object that's in our labs. So the object in my lab is and then whatever. Okay, so I'll start, and then Chloe, and then Jenny.
Yeah.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic object.
Ooh.
Oh, God. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky object.
Oh.
Ooh.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed object.
Oh, very good. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating object.
Oh, God. The object, I feel like most of my mental power is going into remembering everything that you've said and not actually coming up with any words.
That's the point of the game.
Yeah.
That's the point of the game.
If I'm worse than this than your kids, I'm going to be really upset. It could easily be worse.
They have a different sentence.
That's true. The object on my workbench... I'm going to start forgetting the sentence.
Go on.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, and effervescing object.
Nice.
Amazing.
Okay, the object...
I know! What could it possibly be made of?
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescent, flaking object.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescent, flaky, and glassy object.
Oh.
The object on my workbench is a aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaking, glassy, heavy object.
Nice.
I'm going to have to start writing this down, guys.
That's against the rules. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing. I was stopping able to speak now. Flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent object.
Ooh. I'm getting a definite picture of this thing now.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Fizzy glass. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped.
Ooh,
Was that cheating?
No, we'll allow
you
it.
can have
We'll allow it.
jug-shaped.
It's Christmas. We'll allow it.
You can have jug-shaped.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky. Stop laughing at me.
Sorry.
Crazed. I've forgotten the alphabet. Crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, heavy. What's the next one?
No, glass.
Glassy.
Sorry.
No, you can't.
Sorry, I helped her.
Glass. A, B, C, D. Heavy. Iridescent. Jug-shaped. Kinetic object.
Oh, God. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, efflorescent, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated object.
Ooh. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian object.
Mongolian!
Wow.
Okay.
Bringing it hard.
I can't even remember what I said. Kinetic. Oh, yeah. Okay. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescent, flaking,
Well done.
glassy, heavy. Did I say heavy?
Yeah, that's
Heavy. Iridescent. I'm going through the alphabet every single time.
Yeah, we're terrible at this.
Jug-shaped.
Write the alphabet down.
I do. I'm going to get it on my phone. Jug-shaped.
I'll allow it because it's not the word.
Kinetic. Mongolian.
You've got L.
I think you missed L.
What was L?
I said L. I'm not going to help you with what L was. I'm going to have to do so much censoring. at this part
Laminating.
again. Yeah.
Yes! Mongolian. I've literally just got numismatic, but it doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, at this point, nothing makes sense. So just go with that one.
Numismatic.
Okay, great. Another one I can't pronounce. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, efflorescent, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open object.
Ooh, okay. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open I'm tempted to say pneumatic just because you make things hard with numismatic and pneumatic. Yes, pneumatic object.
Oh my god. You are not kind.
It's a pneumatic flaking glass jug.
Oh, it's the most exciting glass jug.
Really
I would
is.
like to hear from anyone, let's face it, probably the British Museum that might have one of these in the collection. Right.
Bonus points.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky... I feel like I failed at the first hurdle. Bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaking, glassy, huge, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumonic? What did you say?
Oh, it should be mnemonic now.
Pneumatic!
No, not mnemonic. Pneumatic.
I believe in you.
Quiet.
I mean, they tend to be, sure.
Well, it's kinetic, so it might be making some noise.
Absolutely.
Object.
Yeah, but it's worth saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got nothing else.
Yeah, sure. Okay. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, efflorescent, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, and red.
Okay. The object
It's seasonal.
Yeah. I mean, there are red objects. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaking, glassy, heavy. Was it heavy? Yes. Iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, red, stinky object.
Stinky.
That's
What
amazing.
can it possibly be stinking of?
Could be whatever's in it. We haven't we haven't actually addressed if it has anything
That's
in
true.
it.
It's open. Whatever's inside.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, red, stinky, and truncated object.
What does truncated mean?
Cut short.
Cut short.
I mean, fair enough. Okay, I can see it.
I can't.
I can't really visualize it, but yeah, okay. Okay, the object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescent, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming object.
I don't think that can possibly be true.
I like it. Okay. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, PQ, quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming, vodka beetle infested object.
Oh, what is it eating?
Oh.
Whatever's inside, I guess.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, it's not the glassy bits, is it?
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming, vodka beetle infested, wriggly object.
Oh,
I know. I thought I'd run with that. I know.
Jenny, you've got X.
Oh. you both.
You've got it.
The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescent, flaking, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open, numismatic, quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming, vodka beetle infested, wriggly, X-rayed
That counts.
object.
Of course that counts. The object, nearly there. The
dear
object on my
Lord.
desk is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, I always forget that one, laminated, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming, vodka beetle infested, wriggly, X-rayed, Yuletide object.
Yay!
Oh, God.
Z.
That's the sound of someone who's just realised what the last letter of the alphabet is.
I know. The object on my workbench is an aesthetic, bulky, crazed, deteriorating, effervescing, flaky, glassy, heavy, iridescent, jug-shaped, kinetic, laminating, Mongolian, numismatic, open, pneumatic, pneumatic. Yes. Quiet, red, stinky, truncated, underwhelming, vodka beetle infested, wriggly, X-rayed, Yuletide. I'm not falling at this hurdle. The last one.
I thought of one, but I can't help
Z
you.
patterned.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah!
Z-twist, maybe like.
That was the hardest parlour game. That was the hardest parlour game ever.
Oh, it could have been could it have been Zionist
Yeah,
or
I said Z-twist.
something?
Zoological.
Yes.
Zoological. Yes.
Yeah.
So many better ones than Z covered or whatever it was I said.
Guys, if you know what this mystery object in our lab is, write in, send us a photo, send us a drawing.
I am
just-
not drawing this object.
You guessed what I was going to say.
Yeah, because
I
Chloe just had the
was-
most fantastic evil look on her face. I was like, not drawing it.
Woo! Yay! Merry Christmas. What next?
Presents.
Wow, that was a great game. That was very fun.
Presents.
That is
Shall I
lovely.
open the card?
Yes.
It's very good paper.
Yeah.
What's the paper?
I feel like, it's a beautiful card.
Oh, dear Jenny and Chloe.
Handmade in Egypt.
Happy Christmas and thanks for another great year of making podcasts together. Lots of love, Christina.
Oh, Christina.
Aww.
Making us all melt.
Oh, thank you. Oh, P.S. The card is handmade in Egypt from recycled materials by the
Zabaline.
Zabaline, the garbage collectors in Cairo who salvage waste and unused industrial materials and turns them into lovely things. They do. Oh, and the
It's
card
very
is
cute.
is a beautiful calico embroidery loveliness with a woman at a well and some birds and some
It's
palm
so
trees.
cute.
Thank you. That is adorable.
They collect waste and recycle it, but they also take things like offcuts of textiles from factories and so on and make them into rugs and things like that. So,
wow.
It's genius. That's so
and you can
good.
buy them in the UK. So I will put a link to the shop in the show notes in case anybody else is interested in supporting
Yes,
them.
please.
What?
Paper nano. Is
Oh
this
my God,
paper
they're
crafts for
gorgeous.
amazing people?
It is. It is.
Oh,
This
yay!
is the coolest thing. I have the Sydney Opera House.
I have Himeji Castle.
Oh, wow,
how do
that's
I pronounce
amazing.
That? Himeji?
Excellent.
That will be my Christmas Day activity. You will need a utility knife, check. Tweezers, check. Adhesive glue, check.
Check.
Transparent glue is recommended for an unmarked finish. I like to think we can avoid invisible glue.
I was going to say, well, what would I even use that wouldn't be transparent? Glitter glue? And that's not right.
Thank you!
Yes, thank you so much. And next, we all have some crackers. I have to call down our sound engineer for crackers.
Yes, cracker time!
Cracker time!
Mine arrived a couple of days ago in an exciting tube. So can I open mine?
Oh, yes.
That was the best tube noise. That was the best tube noise
I've never been happier.
Oh my god, it's a C-word cracker.
Oh, it makes a good...
Obviously nitrile
Yes.
purple ribbon.
It makes excellent cracker noises. Yes. Okay, in my head, I am sitting
I have
around
the silent
dinner
one.
table, and I've just eaten a huge amount of food. Or do you do crackers? I think I do crackers midway through the course. I don't do them first.
We do them before.
I think we do them
Yeah,
before so we
right.
can wear the stupid hats the
In
whole
that
time.
case,
Yes.
in that case, I'm sitting in front of a ridiculously delicious looking meal that I really want to eat because I've just spent hours and hours cooking it. Yeah, I just want everyone to just hurry up and put their hats on so I can eat.
Yep.
We're ready. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go!
1, 2, 3.
did actually pull.
Oh my god, all the things flew out.
That was pretty good, actually.
That was really good.
Oh, I've got a nitrile purple hat. I've got a little a cute little smoke sponge. It's kind of, I feel like you could carry this smoke sponge around with you wherever you go, so you're prepared for any conservation emergency.
Any eventuality.
Yes, exactly.
Got an adorable miniature spirit level that I'm definitely going to use.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
going to use that.
I've got an exciting... Oh, I like it. A sort of, like a water pen, essentially. Although I guess you could put other things in there.
Yes!
You also have a smoke sponge. I have a little piece of beeswax, which is very
I need
exciting.
to put my hat on.
And then I've got burgundy gloves.
Everyone who is lucky enough to win a hat will be amazed and delighted, just as I am, about how beautiful
Mine's
these
a
hats are.
beautiful purple
Laying on
colour.
the praise because I spent ages making all of them. They don't sell purple hats.
No,
They
they
are-
don't.
These are all handmade by me.
Yeah.
Really?
Amazing. Do they go
Oh,
with the
yeah.
headphones? And the tinsel hair.
That is correct.
Oh, wow.
Of course,
Yep.
there's a little joke as well.
Yep.
Shall I read mine out?
Oh, yes, go for it.
So what do you have before we... What beeswax as well? I've got my little spirit level and a piece of smoke sponge. Jenny is also wearing a pair of burgundy gloves, which is rather beautiful.
When
Is it joke time?
when do you read the joke? Like, is there
Immediately.
Like immediately?
Immediately, yeah.
Good. Okay. Who wants to go
on, then.
first?
I'll go first. Right, so mine is, where did the paintings Conservator go after working at the National Portrait Gallery?
Don't know.
Don't know.
The National Landscape Gallery! Yay!
Christina, do you want to go next?
Yeah, mine says, what must you know to be an auctioneer?
I don't know.
Lots!
That's actually genuinely quite funny. I was delighted by that.
That's the way I tell them.
Why did the Natural History Museum employ a flying squirrel
Why did they employ a flying squirrel?
to give glided tours?
Did you hear about the conservators moving their armoury collection?
No.
Why?
They had to work night shifts.
Right.
That was the sound of me getting the joke in real time.
I had to be shown it visually.
Going, night, good night. Yes.
These are really good jokes.
Full credit here goes to James Bailey, one of my friends who did write these jokes. And he's
Thanks,
amazing.
James.
No, thanks, James.
James, you've got the gig for next year.
So our lovely Christmas cracker winners
Oh, yes. They
got
should
their
all,
Christmas crackers.
they should all have their crackers by now, hopefully.
What special additional feature did they have?
Yes, so they were basically the same as ours, except they also had a little bit of Evolon in them from Conservation by Design.
I remember this.
Yeah, so actually we recorded a little bit as we opened our sample of Evolon, and we'll listen to that now.
So what do we have? What do we have? You got a tube. You got a tube. What's in the tube, Jenny? What's in the tube? So who sent us? I'm excited. It's like Christmas.
It is that Christmas, because this is going to be for Christmas. That's what that
It
is.
is Christmas.
Because this goes in the Christmas special.
Oh.
It says large sample of Evolon.
Evolon. So
Yes.
I'm getting it out the tube.
It's a good tube.
It is a good tube.
It arrived entirely wrapped in some fantastic grey paper with the Conservation by Design logo on it. That felt very like it would make good Christmas paper.
What is it? Oh.
This is fabricy.
It's
Cool.
like a fabric paper.
It feels Tyvek adjacent.
It does feel Tyvek adjacent. It looks unwoven. I think it's unwoven. Right, okay.
Okay, textile person getting very happy now.
Not nearly enough, clearly, otherwise I'd know whether it's woven or not.
Well.
I think it's unwoven.
Okay.
It's sort of a little bit like Tyvek, but it's sort of soft on both sides rather than shiny on one side.
Come out of the tube. There we go.
That was a good tube sound.
Yes. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's got a good weight to it.
What is it? Are we going to have to Google? Is there information?
No.
Have we got an information pack?
Wait.
Oh, there's
we've got
loads.
stuff.
Oh, I don't want to crease
Oh,
this.
you are right. It is non-woven. For a data sheet, Evolon.
I knew it was polyester.
Yeah,
Oosh.
70% polyester, 30%. How do you pronounce that?
Polyamide.
Polyamide. Very nice. Microfilament non-woven. Ooh. Applications include humidification, interleaving, washing, spot cleaning, varnish removal, drying aid, support for wet treatments, wrapping, dust cleaning, wipe. pH 7.1.
Okay.
I'm just oohing and eyeing.
So no binder. That's interesting. Durable when wet. Blah blah blah.
Lint free. That's gold.
I like this. Unreactive with ethanol and acetone. Yes.
And many other things that I don't actually use.
So does that mean it's water permeable?
Oh look, absorbency up to 400 times its weight.
That's insane.
That's amazing. Oh my god, I'm gonna use
I wonder how
this.
it compares to absorbency-wise to blotting paper.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we're going to split this piece in half.
Yeah. 50-50.
50-50. You hear that? Sound soft. So, yeah, how do we describe this?
It is white white Tyvek adjacent material.
It's like Tyvek, but without any lines. And no
holes.
shiny side. So it doesn't seem to be a right side and a wrong
So
side.
it's not perforated the way that, like, you know how Tyvek has tiny holes.
Yeah.
So
it absorbs water, but I assume that means it also lets water through.
It's like Tyvek and blotting paper had a baby.
It is!
And I shall call it Blowback.
You call it what?
I shall call it Blowback for blotting paper and Tyvek. No, it's called Evolon. No, we're not renaming it. It's not Blowback. Baby Blowback. Right, so now that it's...
You've done a lot of testing, haven't you?
Yeah, now that it's December, I've actually had to play with this. Not to oversell this, but I don't think I want to live without this. And I kind of hate that. Because I was like, oh, this is a needless product that I definitely don't need in my life.
Full disclosure, I haven't tried them.
No, that's
I've
fine.
got some at home,
That's fine. I mean...
but I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, life gets in the way sometimes. And sometimes you just don't have anything suitable in the lab that you're kind of working on that you feel like you can test something with.
When I've tested it, I will record.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I had a good go. It actually took me a little while to remember I had it because I immediately put it in like my stockpile of things that I would love to use, but actually I don't use very often. Mm-hmm. And since this was a completely new material to me, I was like, yeah, I barely use blotting paper.
Use this? Yeah.
I barely use blotting paper. Like I'm not a paper conservator, and like these things, I was like, I'm skeptical. And then I stopped being skeptical because I tried it.
What did you try it on first thing?
My first thing was I had we picked out for a new exhibition. I really crumbled is not a word. Crumbled up like a piece of not card but like thick, really thick paper.
Yeah,
that was like an old advertisement for I want to say like a meat grinder or something. Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Oh, this would be great, but we can't even put this in a Melinex sleeve. Like it's not going to fit. Like this is really horrendous." And I was like, I'll see what I can do, having no earthly idea of what I would be doing, because I was like, I mean, I don't think a humidification chamber would work on this. Like, I don't think that'll relax it enough. And it was an unaccessioned item, so I felt like I could be a bit
of a play.
Experimental, yes, exactly. It was kind of dirty looking and clearly really acidic and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'll try some of the stuff that I'm supposed to be trying. So I took a sheet of it. Well, I cut a square out and I misted it with just a spray bottle of deionized water. So it wasn't sopping wet or anything. It was just damp. And then I just folded it and put some weights on it and left it over the weekend. Bold. I was like, shh. Everything's fine.
If that doesn't work, nothing will.
Pretty much. And I was like, I'm definitely going to have this up. And then I came back and I was like, that's a suspiciously smooth and flat surface now. Like, that's a very flat sandwich. And I don't remember it being that flat. And then I took the weights off and externally, I've actually taken the piece with me here. I could see that there were like loads of stains, like this yellow blotches all over it. And I was like, oh, well, it's done something. I wonder what it is. And like I opened it up and like it had like more yellow blotches, but like the paper was just like happy sitting there and it was perfectly flat. It wasn't moist, like,
oh my God.
And it was cleaner because it had just drawn out all of the nastiness into this Evolon stuff, and it was flat, and I was like, oh my God, I think I need to use this again. And then I decided to use it for all sorts of weird things, because then I went nuts. So one thing I did was I had to clean some very corroded modern iron things.
These bits of Evolon do not look clean anymore.
No, certainly not. These have really, really gone through the ringer. It was stuff that I treated with decorroder, and then had to rinse, because you need to rinse off the decorroder thoroughly with deionized water. Obviously, it's iron, I don't really want it to stay wet, right? So I needed to dry as fast as possible. So to aid that, bits of Evolon around it to soak it up faster, and like in like good airflow and stuff like that. And I was like, well, hopefully that acts fast enough that it doesn't like start to re-corrode immediately before I get a chance to like coat it and like look after it. And it did a great job. Like it's these look well manky.
Yeah, they do.
But it did a brilliant job. I was really shocked. Like it really aided the like moisture coming out of the layers and everything. I don't know, it was just amazing. And then I just started using it on everything, and now I've used it for like humidification patches on all sorts of stuff, like where it's just like a couple of really nasty creases in some textiles. I've done like a little sandwich with this stuff, and I'm like, and it's so reusable. Like it's not like blotting paper where it's kind of like quite quickly you're like, well, that's not getting used again. I'm really sold on this. Actually, I'm loving this. I'm using it for all sorts of weird stuff.
Well, I'll dig mine out. I've put mine into storage and then somewhere safe, essentially, and forgotten where I put it.
And I don't know if you've ever cleaned taxidermy, for example, but you tend to like have like, if you like cleaning feathers, it's a good idea to have like a piece of tissue or something underneath it, you know, that sort of thing. And actually, this stuff works way better than the tissue does. And like, it's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so good. Yeah. I don't know. It's just.
So are you saying you think its closest comparison is blotting paper?
Yeah, I still think the closest one is blotting paper, but it's like blotting paper plus.
Have you tried washing it?
I haven't yet. I meant to before this, but I just didn't get around to it. So I just have my manky bits here. They are very gross looking. And I do want to try to wash them. Maybe I'll do a weird little Christmas washing line with adorable bits of drying Evolon. But anyway, like I'm quite sold, I have to say. Like I've actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
But I've probably tried it on a wide range of really weird stuff, because I work with a lot of weird stuff.
So I reckon when I try mine out, I'll try humidification. That sounds really good. And I will try stain removal, because that sounds...
I was unprepared for the stain removal being actually effective, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do, and then we'll report back.
And of course, also thank you to Conservation Resources, who also put things in the crackers. Excellent bits of beeswax and smoke sponge in various crackers. So, thanks so much, guys, for helping put things in crackers. And I hope everyone enjoyed them, if you got one. And this year, so we've been sent a special audio Christmas card from some fellow podcasters. Let's listen to that now.
Hi guys, it's Derek and Lawrence here from Korea in Ruins. We hope you're having a lovely holiday season, and we've been really enjoying listening to your podcast lately.
Yes, absolutely. Keep up the great work, and we can't wait to catch some more in 2020. But in the meantime, we were hoping we might be able to ask you a favour.
That's right. We're going away for Christmas. We're having some time away from the pod, but we need someone to look after our time machine, and we were wondering if you'd take good care of it for us over the festive period.
That's correct. So we can't think of anyone better, but there are some rules and regulations about borrowing it, because it does have to be used intermittently, otherwise the battery run low, and it's quite hard to get a jump start on a time machine. So if you're happy to give it a run out now and again, all of you get free passes and return tickets, and all we want to know is where you'd like to go and what you'd like to see or do.
Yeah, look forward to hearing from you.
Oh, if any of those trips include revisiting an unfortunate scenario, and please feel free to include it. Something that might have fallen off a table or...
horrors of conservation past.
Anyway, have a great festive period, guys, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the new year.
See you soon.
What a wonderful idea as well. And I will happily take up the mantle of, I've got cats to feed, I've got Christmas presents to buy, and now I have a time machine to maintain as well.
Babysit, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do you feel like you're going to abuse this for Christmas purposes? Is this now about prolonging time so you can keep buying Christmas presents?
I don't know, because I'm
going back and making sure you buy them well ahead of time.
I don't know. I'm one of those people that get frustrated when watching Doctor Who, and I'm like, why on earth wouldn't you go back and just find out all the things that happened?
Yeah.
You're invisible and inaudible, so you can't intervene.
Oh, damn
you can just go and observe.
Okay.
Because I know what you mean, because I would have gone and told people not to burn Byron's diaries, and I probably would have gone and tried to install a sprinkler system in the Great Library of Alexandria. Anachronistically. But yeah. But no, if you could you can just watch, and you can find out about stuff, and you can see stuff and be there at like amazing points in history, but you can't intervene. Can't change history.
Damn.
But that means I don't get to like make sure that nothing falls off the table. Sad face.
Well, yeah.
I don't have like a big breakage I want to...
I don't have either, touch wood.
Yeah.
I do have various treatments that I wish I'd done something differently.
I mean, this is intervention, but I would love to go back and hide secret messages inside things that I've repaired. Like a little slip of paper somewhere, acid-free paper. Just tuck it into like the inside of something that you then seal up, so that someone would definitely find something fun in the future.
Oh my God, yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah. I think what I would go and silently observe, this is really specific, and I'm sorry everyone, but the archaeologists among us will appreciate this. I would secretly go and observe the early Upper Paleolithic and...
Well, just a general Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. And go and observe people, as in anatomically modern human and Neanderthal, and just see all of the things that they wear and do and produce that are not recorded in the archaeological record. Ooh. Because it's literally just stones and bones, and people come up with all sorts of theories just based on stones and bones and a bit of
I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I would do. I
know what I would do. I would go back to the 1970s and I would note down what the recipe for the magic mixture in our fluid specimens things are, because that was never written down and it's unacceptable and I want to know what's in there. And I would...
God, both of yours are really useful and mine isn't at all. So, being a bit sad and geeky, I am a massive fan of the composer Johann Sebastian Bach, and so I would like to go back to the 1720s and 30s in Leipzig and see the premiere of some of his... that he wrote some of his greatest works while he was the cantor at St. Thomas's Church in Leipzig, and I'd really like to hear him play the organ. So
that sounds like a relaxing Christmas treat.
Absolutely no use to anybody not contributing to the store of human knowledge or anything like that, just purely for me.
But maybe that can be what we do on Christmas Day, yeah? We'll do that on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And it's after we've gone back to the earlier Upper Paleolithic.
Okay, it's fine. It's in good hands. We'll definitely look after it for you guys.
We'll look after it, don't you worry. It might be a bit cleaner than when you left it.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know about that. You've seen the state of my house.
Do you think some microcrystalline wax would damage its time-travelling properties?
Oh, I don't know. I would definitely use it on a TARDIS, so why not?
Yeah.
So the other week, you and I started talking about Hogwarts houses.
We were having sensible conversations at the time, though, so we thought, no, let's leave this.
Yeah, let's leave this
for another time.
That's a little treat.
Now is that time.
Because it started as, which house are you? And then it was, which house are other conservators? And then it escalated into, what would the conservation houses be?
Yeah.
So which houses are you? Or which houses do you think you would be in?
I feel like I favour Ravenclaw, but I'd be okay if I was Slytherin.
I don't see you as a Slytherin.
No one does.
That's the mark of a Slytherin, isn't it?
I am proudly, and I know for a fact, Pottermore-defined Hufflepuff, and I am proud of it. I don't take any of this Hufflepuff is the worst house. Nonsense. Why would anyone not want to be loyal and hardworking?
And kind and just.
Proud Hufflepuff.
Yes.
Kind and just puff pride.
Christina.
I was sorted by Pottermore into Ravenclaw.
I knew it!
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't think I'm brave enough to be a Gryffindor.
Aww.
Just in case you wanted to check up on this, my son had his 9th birthday last week, and one of the presents he was given was a sorting hat that you can put on your head and you press a button and it will talk to you and sort you into a house.
Oh no,
What an excellent idea!
Love it.
Okay.
So if you would like, I have the hat with me here.
Yes!
I don't know if it will work over messaging apps, but we can give it a go if you want.
How are we going to do this then? So we want to think of... Do we want to think of conservation greats that can become the heads of houses?
Okay, I'm game.
Yeah? Who would we choose?
I'm
Who
sure
would we
can
choose?
Well,
sum
surely
this.
Jane has to be one of them.
Yeah,
Jane has to be one.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, do you want me to sort her?
Yes.
Yes.
There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will tell you where you ought to be. Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, brave at heart, daring, better be Gryffindor.
Yay! Definitely.
So Jane is in Gryffindor. It's got a little mouth
course
on
she
it
is.
that moves when it's doing its thing.
So House Henderson is brave and courageous and will stand up for truth and justice
And
Yes.
wear Doc Martens.
and wear Doc Martens. And the house colour is purple.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. This could not have gone better.
Who next?
I feel like Jonathan Ashley Smith. There must be an Ashley Smith, right?
Okay, do you want me
Yeah,
to do it?
yeah.
Sorry, you're going to have to
Yeah.
listen to the whole spiel again, but
There's nothing hidden in your head
Yeah.
the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will... Yes, clearly.
The suspense.
Hufflepuff.
Oh!
so in case you couldn't hear that, it was
Hi,
saying
Jonathan.
just and what was it? Just and kind and true, or something like that.
Kind
So-
and just and hardworking and loyal.
And
yes.
beardy. That's perfect.
So
That's House Ashley Smith.
What colour?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a house leader.
calico. That's
Calico.
okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So nitrile purple, calico beige.
Okay, who next, do you think?
I don't know.
this is a legend.
I feel that inadvertently we're going to be insulting some people by
Yeah.
excluding them. Capel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, obviously, yeah, but we have to pick 4 because 4 houses. So
Yeah.
There's nothing hidden in your head
Yeah.
the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will... Slytherin.
Mr. Capel.
oh, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh.
Oh, what's going to be the color?
How about photography grey?
Oh
Photography
yes.
grey.
You know that standard
Yeah,
photography
I do
grey?
mid-tone grey or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mid-tone grey.
Mid-tone grey. Great idea.
Okay,
I
so
like it.
House Capel has Slytherin tendencies and just
The dabbling in the dark arts.
in the...
Maybe a bit of restoration on the side and
See, this one was always going to be a little bit offensive. Sorry. Do you think he listens?
Maybe he's proud.
I'm just saying, just because the dark conservators come from there, it doesn't mean that there aren't
Yes.
loads of amazing conservators on the
That's
right
it.
side from that house who have got all kinds of leadership
Exactly.
skills and
Exactly.
are great at coming up with cunning solutions to things. And
Exactly. Produce lots of really good papers because they're ambitious. They do lots of research because they're ambitious.
I love that you're worried that he'll be offended, and I'm like,
he's not going to hear this.
Well, I think that says more about your house than anyone else's.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with that.
I feel like we
Right,
need to have
fourth.
UCL. Can we have Liz Pye?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will...
Mighty convenient, isn't
Nice.
it?
Very good.
Congratulations, Liz Pie.
House colour?
Right, so house colour for that.
How about Samian wear orange?
Orange. Yeah, I like that.
Yay! So there are house leaders, our
Love
heads
it.
of houses.
Love it.
If any of you want to sort yourselves into those houses, then tweet us.
Then that is an available service.
Yeah.
It comes strictly from Christina because she has the sorting hat. But it is available as a service.
The excellent thing is we've just piggybacked onto Rowling house attributions. So you can actually just use Pottermore, unintentional Pottermore plug. And then you can then apply yourself to the houses and then contact one of the 4 house founders and bother them with information they don't need. We've accidentally saddled them with all this responsibility.
Oh, it's going to be so awkward when we meet these people next.
Sorry, Grace.
Oh, sorry, everyone. But that was lovely. I really enjoyed that.
I did as well.
And this year we recorded a special version of Santa Baby, sung by Desislava Slativa.
Founding bodies, sleep a table under the tree for me. Been working so hard, founding bodies, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Founding bodies, Parlour in B72 as well. I'll wait up for you all, founding bodies, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the things I've faced. Think of all the space that I have mixed. Next year I'll be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Founding bodies, I want some CBD, and that's not a lot. Been so patient all year, founding bodies, please hurry down the chimney tonight. Budget holders, one little thing I really need, some books to inform me, oh yeah. Budget holders, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Budget holders, fill my stocking with anemex and checks. Let's get permission to spend. Budget holders, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and stock my lap for me with some paper stocks that are acid free. I really do believe you could keep us going if you would. Budget holders, forgot to mention one little thing. Packing grades for all those loans. Budget holders, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight.
If you're enjoying the C Word and would like to support our work, then please consider becoming one of our patrons. For as little as $1 per month, you can help us keep our episodes online and more of them coming. Patreon helps us meet our regular costs for the show, and also to plan ahead so we know roughly how much of a monthly budget we've got. That's super helpful when you're trying to do something special like buy a better microphone or save up to go to a special event. Your support also helps keep us free of advertisement. In return, our supporters get access to our archive of extended episodes, which you can only access on our Patreon page. Yeah, for that $1 a month, you get a little extra audio enjoyment. We've crunched the numbers, and it's about 10% extra content on a regular basis. Well, that's not bad for less than a cup of coffee, eh? If supporting us sounds like something you'd like to do, then head over to patreon.com/thecword and join our bunch of absolute champions.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Thanks for listening. We're The C Word, and you've been listening to Christina Rosaic, Chloe Rumsey, and me, Jenny Mathiasen. Check out our website at thecword.show, tweet us at The C Word Podcast, or simply email us on thecwordpodcast@gmail.com. The intro and outro music is Spring by Didi Missick, used under Creative Commons Attribution License. This has been a Wooden Dice production.